Thank you so much for coming today. My name is Kenneth.
My name is Simon Newemujeze.
And I'm Viola Mutavu.
And of course, we are here tonight to talk about our project that we've been working on for days, and it is called Comfort Culture. And we've been actually working on different menus, talking about different cultures and different types of foods that are eaten, and different other events that are related to such activities.
Yeah.
So to begin with, we're going to hear from one of you to tell us about the menu and the findings in general that you came with. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Kenneth. I did some research on two menus, and one of them is the potlatch, and the other one is called tailgating, football games. So to begin with, tailgating, it is an event that Americans do before football games. Football is a very wide known game in which only happens in America. It's not done widely in other countries or on any other continents. So when the games are about to start, people gather outside the stadium, and they make places for people to just come and party and share memories, and they eat lots of food. So there's lots of barbecues, there's lots of drinks to be shared, and each family, usually it's done with families or big groups of people, and each family creates its own menu, and then they share with the family. They share the memories of some footballers who are maybe either deceased or who have been legends for the club, and to also it's part of teaching the young ones how to their loyalty for the club, and give some history to why they actually do that thing. So that is for the tailgating at football games, and there's lots of things done there. Of course, people also party. They share drinks, they share beers, and that's for the tailgating. Then I also made some research on the potlatch. So potlatch is a ritual, is a menu that was done by the people called the Tlingit, and they are from the Pacific Northwest. So these people did the potlatch menu in order to remember lots of things. It's also a gathering of the whole tribe, and it was done as way of remembering the deceased, and also passing on the honor, or a certain tribal grade, I can say. If someone was a tribe leader, then they had to appoint someone else to be also the tribe leader, and that is when a potlatch was made. And in that ritual, people would share their memories. People would dance, would sing, as also trying to show the people that to remove fear of death. When you do the research, it's trying to remove fear of death, and also telling people that death is not the end of anything. So they would gather together, eat some food, and also teach the young ones about the culture. So it's all about commemorating, and also passing on heritage to someone else who was to be a leader. So in that, actually, in the menu, it was mostly involved with lots of meats, which included fish and other sea animals like seagulls, and other fishes. So that's the research that I did for the two menus.
Yeah, thank you so much, Simon.
I think
question.
So were they only eating meat, or there were other foods?
They didn't just eat meat. It was made in different ways. So it's but it was mostly fish, but they also eat cherries, and they also eat lots of vegetables and potatoes, along with the fish that was prepared in lots of different ways. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. So I also want to can you clarify? I think you can also tell us about the differences and the similarities of both menus that you talked about.
I think because it is two different cultures, they definitely have some differences, especially like what goes along with what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
So to start with tailgating, this is like usually like they are also like remembering having memories and sharing stories with the young ones and teaching them lots of things, but it's more of having so much fun at football like before a game starts, and maybe after, and share lots of beers. While for the potlatch, this was like a ritual where like also like someone died, like it's mostly done when someone died, and they're like they're trying to pass on their heritage. So this menu changed, and like the rituals are way much different. It was also done when like a new baby boy or baby girl was came into the family, but it's mostly because it's mostly for trying to like commemorate and pass on the heritage when an elder of the clan passed away. Yeah.
So thank you so much. So before we go to Violet, and also tell you about what I came up with my menu. I talked about Japanese rice and the Hawaiian poi, and to begin with is the Japanese rice. Here, it has been said that it is the staple food, the primary staple food for the Japanese, which means it has a lot of value, and it has been also valued so much in the country for many years. According to the resources that I've been going through, I've seen that Japanese rice were back in the World War. It was preserved for the soldiers on the battlefield, so that they can gain more power to stand on the battlefield, whereby it was denied the citizens, the citizens of the country, and preserved for the soldiers. So which means it has a big value for the Japanese. This Japanese rice has also once served as the currency of that country, because it was once used as a medium of exchange. You could take a rice and maybe get any good of your choice that you want. So this really shows how important Japanese rice is up to now in their culture. And in their culture, when a new baby girl or a baby boy is born, or a family has received any girl to be a mother, maybe like you're from your young stage to the stage of being a woman, a grown-up woman. That is maybe when they have started experiencing their periods. The family gathers and congratulates them and celebrates and welcoming those girls into a grown-up society of ladies. So that's how important this rice is to the culture of the Japanese. And normally it is also like to be served with red beans. So that is most of the times the sauce that is always served with. And to talk about the other part of the Hawaiian poi, this is a sticky, chewy substance, and it is always green, purple in color, and it is also a food that is respected by the Hawaiian people. And it was being consumed over 1,000 years, and up to this time it is being treated as a special food. And not to let this Hawaiian poi to disappear or to cease, they have encouraged many high schools, many organizations to keep on eating, maybe consuming this kind of food, so that it can even reach in the in the present days. Probably when they're serving poi, there are so many restrictions that they're supposed to follow, and it is always prepared by ladies. So when they're preparing, they have to make sure that they have to tie their hair so that it cannot fall into that poi. So you see, it is really handled with care in its preparation. So briefly, that is what I was. This is what I got from my research.
Yeah. Do you think there are any similarities between the two menus that you worked on?
Yeah, maybe the similarities. Both foods, the Hawaiian poi and Japanese rice, have got this great respect in their countries, in their parts of origin.
Yeah.
When you see Japanese rice and Hawaiian poi, they are all have a great impact to their culture. So, and it is really respected, and they both have what they mean in their culture. Let's say when a girl turns into a woman, they prepare rice, Japanese rice, to congratulate that lady, because if you're congratulating something, which means you're going to prepare something which is special.
Yeah.
And when I go back on the part of the Hawaiian poi, in its preparation, there are specific people who prepare it, like girls, and they make sure that there's not any external contamination. That's why they have to be careful in its preparation. So that brings the similarity between the two, that much respect and value they gain from their societies.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
To continue there, let us give a chance to Viola so to also express her findings.
Okay, thank you. So I researched about Hindu rituals, food rituals, and also Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine. So first of all, in the food rituals of Hindu, first of all, let me talk about their weddings.
Yeah.
In Hindu weddings, the Hindu is from a word India. So like Hindu is like a language that's spoken in India. So it's food that's eaten in India.
Yeah.
So first of all, they eat many foods, but they base mostly on rice, because in weddings, rice means fertility, and they want to wish the bride or the groom to have many children and offspring. And also, every food has a meaning as well. Apart from rice, there are other foods that have meanings, like the kakam seeds. And the kakam seeds in Hindu weddings is when they put those seeds in the leaves, and then after folding those leaves, they give them to the bride and the groom, and then they pass them on top of their heads. So this means that they're going to share the bitterness and sweetness of life. Okay. And also in these weddings, there's a ritual of moving around the altar 6 times. So they're talking about the lifetimes that they're going to live together. And also, let me talk about the Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine. Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine, most people think that the Pennsylvanian food is all about whoopie pies. And as the writer Weaver, he said that it's more about shredded cabbages, dried apples, and food such as that. And also their foods also have different meanings. For example, like the roasted pork, it means good luck and prosperity. And also the sucrets, it means good luck as well. And also there's in Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine, it's mostly common that people share on when they're sitting as a family, and they share from the same plates and dishes, and they mostly use their hands. Yeah, so that's all.
Yeah, thank you so much for your sharing. As we come back to our findings, we also talked about our own culture. So, and every single one of us had a part to tackle and come out with the findings, which I think we are going to share in this moment. So, to begin, I talked about what we call Gatsi, and this is an activity that is always carried out when someone, a friend, is given a cow. A cow is is a domestic animal which is respected in the Rwandan culture. So when one is your friend, or when you've been together for a long time and your relationship is really growing very well, and one decides to give another a gift, and that gift may happens to be a cow, there is a certain event, the certain ritual that is carried out to thank the person that gave you that cow. So this event is always carried out because people want to show appreciation of what their friends have given them. So when I myself maybe give Simon a cow, and Simon has to take a next step of coming back to me and say thank you. In this way of saying thank you, he has to bring his friends and our friends together, and our families, and maybe the neighboring people. So we come together, prepare some meal where we have to share, and maybe share a word of thanks. And this activity is carried maybe like 1 week to 2 weeks after one is being given a cow. And some of the foods that are being prepared in that kind of event, there is millet, there is rice, normal rice, there is of course milk has to be served because it is the major product of a cow, so it is how it has to be served. And there is meat, of course, and some beans and many other foods. So this kind of event is, when I was talking to some of the elders, they told me that this kind of event helps to bring together people. When someone gives you a cow and you come to appreciate, there have to be other people to witness and other friends, whereby even the families, the two families of two different those people have to also to come and meet, so that they can say a word of thanks to the part of the family that gave a cow. So it is really great, and it has been being carried out for so many years, and I think up to now it is still going on in our Rwandan culture. So probably that is what is about Gukura of Gods.
Another question, so was it a mandatory thing, or it's something someone had to do out of their own respect that they received a cow?
Yeah, actually, it is not mandatory that how when you give me a cow, I have to come back, maybe thank you. But then in the Rwandan culture, it is really good for someone to come back to that person that gave him or her a cow, and really show a heart of appreciation, and maybe try to prepare and bring some beer, sorghum beer, this local beer, so that you can share, maybe have fun, get more connected. So but then it's not really mandatory that you have to do it. But then when you don't do it, it really shows another negative part of you, whereby it's like you didn't appreciate the kind of the cow that you were given. Yeah.
So is it possible for someone to go and get the cow back?
It's not really that kind. It's not always good to go back and get the cow back, even though that person didn't come back to thank you. So that might mark the end of the relationship. When you go back and pick the cow back, maybe there are some reasons why that person didn't come to say thank you. So when you go and take your cow back, it shows that you also gave it to him without the heart of giving. So it remains kind.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I also worked on something in Rwandan culture they call umuganura. So umuganura comes from the word kuganura, which also means taste, as like tasting food. So this happened way back at the time of kings, before the colonial period in Rwanda, and so every year before the summer ended, so before the start of the rainy period, when it was this period to grow crops, people would gather, usually at the king's palace, and feast and celebrate a lot of accomplishments, especially from the whole agriculture year. So people would gather and also bring lots of food crops in order to, and they give them to the king and people at the palace as a way of appreciating and thanking the gods that their agriculture year has been really successful. So a lot of crops grown in Rwanda from since that period are potatoes, sorghum, and Irish potatoes, and beans. So those are the main crops you even find at the moment grown on large scale in Rwanda. And maize, I forgot to say maize. So corn is also one of them, and so they would bring them and give offerings to the king and give offerings to the gods at that time, as a way of thanking the gods for giving them a really successful agriculture year. And then they would feast and celebrate and dance all day and like all night. So during those events, people would eat lots of foods. Of course, like potatoes were the main crop, were the main food, and beans. So and the drinks were sorghum beer, sorghum beer plus so in Rwanda they have a cultural way of making it alcoholic and non-alcoholic. So and the alcoholic one is called ichigaje, and the non-alcoholic one is called ubushera. So these two drinks were the main. In case one didn't drink alcoholic drinks, they would have to take ubushera. If they drank beer, they would have to take ichigaje. And like people would feast and dance and celebrate and give offerings to the king and thank the gods for giving them a really successful year. So when I asked the elders, they told me that this culture has actually moved on. And they referred me to actually the Ministry of Culture, and I've come to realize that every year they are going to make this ritual. So every year the government of Rwanda prepares this day, and it's like a public holiday. People feast, gather and share drinks, either in families and everywhere that they are, at job places, and then they celebrate the end of a successful year. So this is something that's still going on right now, and like they still bring these foods into place to actually celebrate a culture that's been there for hundreds of generations. Yeah, that's what I worked on.
Yeah, thank you so much, Simon. So let's hear from Violet.
Okay, thank you. It was nice hearing from you.
Yeah.
So me, what I talked about is kurya ubunyano. First of all, kurya means eating, and ubunyano means baby waste. And this is an event or an occasion that happens when a child is born. And so they invite many people, including children, and there are different foods such as cassava, matoke, and beans, and bananas. And obviously there's a lot of milk, and they invite many children and they give them milk as a sign or as a symbol of wishing them to have many other children and many other offspring. So, and then in this occasion, yeah, there are many people invited, including the parents of the grandparents of the child, the relatives, the aunties, all of them, they come, and it's a way of showing the newborn and presenting the newborn in the family. Yeah.
So rather than naming the child, is there any other activity that takes place? Is there any other activity, or it's the exact naming?
Yes. Thank you very much, Kenneth, for the question. It's also kurya ubunyano is also an event that where they can parents of the child can be able to get name suggestions for the newborn from their relatives and other children. So and it's also a gathering for all family members to attend and meet the new child.
Yeah, thank you so much, Viola. Yeah, that was really interesting. So as we are winding up, we have also talked about the definitions. I think everyone had an opportunity of tackling about two definitions, and I think we are going to also to define them, then be able to relate them to what we've really been talking about in our menu. Yeah.
Yeah, so for the definitions, I actually researched on a definition. One of them is called enculturation, and this is a process whereby the groups, people in the same family or in the same culture, like learn so many things about the culture, about about everything that's been in their clan for generations, but based on cultural experiences from the elders. And I also learned about what they call ethnocentrism. It's like sort of like a belief or an inherent superiority in a clan or tribe. So relating this to the projects that I actually made to the menus, when you look at the tailgating and football games, like it's a way of bringing together like the young ones in the family and like tell them about like the history of maybe like the club that they're very loyal to. So they tell them about the football team and like how they've been like supporting this for generations. And they also, it's like also another time to like teach the young ones about their culture, like what they've been doing for generations. And tailgating is a way of like bringing them all together because it's a period of having fun, commemorating and drinking and feasting. So it's a very good way to bring people and engage with them and teach them about all of that. Also, like at the potlatch, this is where like they try to like bring fear out of the people in the Pacific Northwest. So during like when they feasted and shared all the foods is when they like explained and told them about the accomplishments of the previous elder and told them like what they have accomplished, and the fact that they've died doesn't mean that people have to fear death. So it was a way of like showing people that they don't have to fear death, and it's like encouraging the young ones. So that is how like those two definitions actually like correlate to the menus that I've researched about.
I worked on two definitions, symbol and rituals. So first of all, what's a symbol? A symbol is something like a material or a figure that's representing something else. And in my research, I saw different symbols in food, like as I said, in the Hindu food rituals, there's rice, which means fertility, and the kakam seeds, which means bitterness and sweetness of life during marriages. And also in the Pennsylvania Dutch culture, there's roasted pork and Socrates, which means good luck and success. And those are the symbols that I found in my research. And also a ritual is a way of people, or like a well-known process of people in a different in a certain culture. Yeah. So like one of a ritual that I found in my research is in Hindu weddings. There's a ritual of walking around the altar 6 times, and also in the Pennsylvania Dutch culture, there's a ritual of people who share as a family on the same plate or dish, and then they share using their fingers like as a family. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I also talked about two definitions, which are culture relativity and subculture. So on the culture relativity, here is where it's a concept that culture norms and values are being bring a specific meaning or a specific information on the culture background or context. And when I tried to compare to relate it to the menu on the Japanese rice, this is whereby Japanese rice is a staple food for the Japanese, which is one that brings much honor to that. And in different, they always prepare rice in their daily meals. But then when it comes to when congratulating a girl from being a girl to a grown-up lady, they have to prepare it in a special way to show that that event is really respected in their culture. So you see, it is connected to it's like it is more of their value, more than other meats. And on the part of the Hawaiian poi, the way it prepared, it also shows that it is the culture thing, whereby in Hawaiian poi, when they are preparing poi, they have to invite families from different, even if the families in different family members are in different places, they have to come together on maybe meet in a certain place, then have to share and celebrate, which means they can't miss, and it is something that is respected. So it shows how value the people of that culture have for it. And another one is subculture, whereby it is having the social, economic, and other social ways of in different in when differentiating it with other culture values. So when we talk about culture, subculture, here we come in the things that don't concern much about the culture only, but also other things. They tackle different parts. So here they mention about economic and social. So when they talk about the part of economic, I relate it with the Japanese rice, whereby it was once used as the currency, and up to now it is one of the leading exports of the Japanese in the agro-based industry. So that's why it is actually in the subculture. That's where I relate it with the Japanese rice. And actually even the poi is being encouraged to different high schools, to different colleges, so that they can continue consuming it in the Western development, whereby they don't want it to cease for good. They want it to keep as coming again and again. So those are the two definitions I talked about. And I think we are coming to the end of our meeting, and I want to thank every single one of us that was able to participate.
Thank you.
And
thank you for your time.